Slavery. Slavery began at 1615. It really helped America grow economically, especially ship owners and chief slavers. But when you let such solid activity flourish in a country, it gives way to dark testimony and consequences. The Secession War. The Secession War is well known for the direct war it caused, but what we know less about it is its social aspect. Today, I'd like to take you with me deep into the heart of it, where some of the most horrible stories I've ever read are told. Slavery is at the heart of Secession War and will initiate everything, directly opposing the North and the South of the United States. While the North is more focused on industrialization, dynamism and innovation, the South is more concerned about agricultural land, tobacco and cotton, with slaves as the motor of the engine. At this time, slaves were a very profitable investment for farmers, as they were free labor workers. But look at this. No, don't look away. Look closely. This photo alone represents the atrocity of slavery. Chained up, forced to work, while being whipped in the middle of a field. But this is not the most horrible part. Let's talk about how the slaves were imported. Abake, age of 2 at the time of the events, tell us this. There were about 100 or 110 men in the boats, crammed into the hold for hours on end. My mother has reminded me countless times the moans, the cries and the screams those children made, filled with fear, a fear that seemed incurable as they clung to their mother. I visualized the scene as if I had memories of it. And what did the North do about that? The North, after careful consideration, proposed the abolition of slavery, for the sake of humanism, of course. I said it was a careful consideration, and not for nothing. In reality, yes, the North did it for humanism, but not only that. While the slave is a free workers, it's a burden for the masters. But, for the industrialization of the country, the North needed manpower. The slaves get their freedom back, and the North get workforce. It's a win-win situation. At the end, someone who likes working like a slave creates growth, which is great. Their humanism is awesome, isn't it?
In terms of fighting, the North and the South fight in merciless and extremely violent battles, with the two sides often fight each other face to face in fields where you can hide, so you can imagine the losses were immense and confrontations horrific. Here, you can see a representation of these battles. In the North, the famous Abraham Lincoln led the army, and in the South, it was Robert E. Lee who led the Confederates. Let's talk a little bit about him. It's him, called General Lee, a highly experienced officer who enjoyed a long military career. Most remembered for his exploits at Chancellorsville Battle, nicknamed Lee's Perfect Battle. Despite his defeat in the American Civil War, Lee will always be remembered as a great American soldier, maybe the greatest. On the civilian side, the women played an important role. In fact, it was the first time women played such an important role in a war effort. During the first 2 years of conflict, the women who wanted to abolish slavery led writing campaigns and gave speeches against slavery. But their movement was not appreciated by all, so a law passed to consider all the Protestant women as prostitutes. So it gave the permission to anybody to disrespect or punch the Protestant women, because the prostitutes had no right at this time. This war was the deadliest in the history of United States, with no less than 6,000 and 1,800 soldiers killed and an unknown number of civilian casualties. Today, the total number of dead is estimated at between 7,500 and 8,500 dead. But at the end, the North side won, and the slavery was abolished.
So I finished my editing, so I don't know if you have finished yet, but I hope we can post it on tomorrow or something.
No, I will finish soon. I need more time.
Why?
Because I'm at the end and I need to do more things, but soon. Tomorrow we can post it.
Okay. Because, I've been thinking really hard, like, all day long about this strange territory. This territory on top of Oklahoma, I think we've talked about it together. But we have, like, really no information at all. Like, nothings. I've searched about all states, all country, we have a lot of information. But this, I found nothing. What about you?
Yeah, on my own, I made some research. I watched on Twitter, on Instagram. I was in touch with experts, but they didn't find anything.
But strangely, I've also been thinking about a talk we had together one time. You told me about astrophysicist knowledge you had.
Yes, but it was many years ago, I can't remember if I still know all this knowledge.
Yeah, but I think it really can be useful.
What are you thinking about?
I'm thinking maybe you can go right in the past.
In theory, it's doable.
But theory will only take you so far. Okay, but do you think we can do it anytime soon?
Well, I have an idea, so follow me.
Okay. But what's your idea?
Well,
Okay, I guess it's time to work on it, maybe?
okay, we can do that.
Okay. It's good?
Yes!
Okay. So, are you ready to go in the past?
Yeah.
Hey, but this is warning, isn't it?
No.
What is that?
Can you hear that?
Sir, thank you for coming to
There's
this
a conversation on there.
If I've called you, it's for a good reason. And I think you know maybe what it is.
Because we've taken your territory, sir. This is war. Territory come and go. And we took it without violence. Unlike you cowardly ambushed our soldiers.
Without violence, you're sure? Bullshit! You can ask thousands and thousands of my villagers. They strongly disagree with you. You accuse me of being cowards? I think you don't have honor, sir, when it comes to my innocent civilians.
It's war. Things like this happens. There is no war without innocent victims. But if you've called me here, it's to find a solution. So let's discuss.
Yes, it's to find a solution if I've called you here.
I'm all ears.
Well, first of all, I think we can stop attacking citizens.
Okay. If you don't attack civilians, we'll do the same.
But as far as the territory is concerned, I can do one thing. You take 50% and you go back with no casualties on our side and your side. I think it's a everybody wins situation.
I'm sorry to tell you this, sir, but your proposal doesn't suit me. We are not going back to 15% after all we've done. Sacrifice, life lost, we can't do that, and you know it.
Sir, I'm trying to prevent more casualties on your side, on my side. But if we have to fight, we will fight.
Why don't you stay in this situation and just accept it? I can't do anything about it. You have orders, so do I, so just try to understand me.
I understand you, but I don't agree. We will fight to death if needed.
Well, in any case, the outcome of this meeting was not important. You know, I'm sorry to say this, sir, but we are already in place.
What do you mean I will in case?